Yo, GM, everybody. Today, excuse me, man, lots of stuff happening on the timeline. Martin Shkreli is Trump. Martin Shkreli is Donald Trump's son, Barron. Oh my God, we got Koval was
Scammer's gonna scam,
Coinbase, dude. But most importantly, you know, we're gonna be here talking with Ghosty.Cash today. I'm incredibly actually excited to have this conversation.
Is that you? Who's doing that?
No, it's Ghosty.Cash.
Ghosty.Cash.
I've used the platform actually quite a few times over the course of the last 6 or 8 months since it's been live. Also, I'm very curious to hear about the migration of BRC20 to TAP. Emblem is very familiar with migrations. It's not an easy process, to say the least. So I'm excited to really hear about it. First and foremost, everyone that's in the crowd, please retweet the spaces so that everyone can come hear this conversation. Ghosty.Cash is a staple in the ordinals community and has a lot of utility. I've pinned the live stream and the Twitter spaces to the top so that you can tune in live to watch it, or if you just want to listen, then you are already here. If you have any questions for Ghosty.Cash, you can request to come on stage. You could post your comments on the live stream or hit that purple button in the bottom right-hand corner. You could post your question there, and we will ask them as we go through the progression of this conversation. Before we do begin the conversation, though, I'm going to make my rounds to everyone here who's on stage. Adam, how are you feeling today, my friend?
It's really fun, man. I got to say, Martin provided some real, I guess you'd say, entertainment on the timeline. It was fun to track. I mean, it was such a shit show. It's hard to even like wrap your head around the FOMO first that he was able to trigger, thinking that this is a Trump coin, which we've talked about before. Like how much if Donald Trump, you know, like his NFT collections came out with a meme coin, it's a multi-billion-dollar meme coin in an hour, in my opinion. Like it would absolutely rock it. And I mean, at the end of the day, and I tracked a lot of it and was on a bunch of spaces listening. It feels like this was done by him and probably Barron or people within the Trump organization. Why on earth they would choose him to do it makes no sense to me. Like literally 0 sense. He might have done it, and this is the thing. He may have done it on his own, right? He may have done it, been talking with the Trump team about doing something, and then just rolled with it on his own and realized that he could make a bunch of money from the liquidity pool and stuff like that. I've heard estimates of 15, 20 or more $1 million being pocketed from that liquidity pool. But at the end of the day, we see that people are vastly interested in a Trump token. And if this isn't, I can't imagine Trump actually coming out like backing this now after this giant shit show. But it shows Trump what's possible. If he wanted to do it, it would be epic. It would be epic. I think it would dwarf. It would start pushing like that $10 billion kind of number. And just the FOMO I saw was incredible. I honestly haven't seen anything like that in the last 6 months. The FOMO on the timeline was massive. And if it was real, oh my God, it would be incredible.
God, Adam is in the absolute meme coin trenches. I
We're not here doing the work for you guys.
I absolutely love the turn of events over the past 6 months. Absolutely incredible. One more hello, and then we'll begin the conversation. Chris, our fellow Solana in-house degen, and now participating in the Runes and Bitcoin ecosystem. How are you feeling today, my friend?
What is good? Good morning. Oh man, I guess like some hot takes just around the Trump coin. Just that would be the most involved in a single coin that he's ever been. And even if it is Barron, which it seems likely that it was extremely related to Barron, I feel like that would be the closest thing to a Trump coin that the timeline would have had. Of course, there's a bunch of awful takes all over the timeline on how it's not connected at all when it's clearly extremely connected.
Yeah.
And so in terms of in relation to Donald Trump, his son launching a coin would be way closer to the real thing than anything that we've seen before. Of course, there's none of those takes on the timeline, just all complete awful takes up and down the timeline. Interesting that he did choose Solana. I did not see a bunch of .eths, but I'm sure that they are upset. Once again, they have not been happy one single day this entire year. Yep. But a lot of action just going on the chain. I just think that I don't know, another crazy ass day in crypto. It is what it is. But I think that it's been rumored that Barron's been in the ecosystem for a while. This isn't super surprising, but why he would choose someone like Martin Shkreli, I think that guy gets kind of a bad rap. I don't think that in terms of,
I actually agree with you there. I think he is, obviously for what he did with that drug company, he got crushed for that.
That's like,
but honestly,
that's like headline reaching, right? That's like headline reaching. Like we kind of pride ourselves on independent research. No one's read the articles about him. We're so like used to just how the media frames all of these independent events,
100%.
how biased they can be. But then when someone new enters the ecosystem, nobody ever gives them the benefit of the doubt or even does their own research on it, even knowing that the media spins these things in wild ways they would never expect. So I'm not saying to vouch for him completely. I'm just saying a lot of people have really strong opinions without doing any of their research. So
totally agree. Actually, I don't know if you caught this too. There was one thing on there that I found like really like interesting from like a who's the good guy versus who's the bad guy thing, which was, I don't know if you saw it, but Andrew Tate apparently had like DM'd or Shkreli had DM'd Andrew Tate about the coin or whatever. And Andrew Tate said, yeah, Barron like was going to give me some or whatever. He told me to buy some. I didn't. I was asleep, blah, blah, blah. And then, so Zach XBT was going to expose Martin Shkreli as the, as the dev or whatever behind this. So Martin, I don't know tell me what's worse. Martin then exposed his private message with Tate to Zach XBT, which is bad enough. Like you don't share your private DMs with people, with anybody, right? But then Zach XBT then puts it on Twitter. So who's like the bad guy in that situation? Like the good guy or the innocent guy is almost like Tate, which is like craziness at the highest level. But it's like Martin sharing private DMs. Zach, who's supposed to be the good guy, is sharing private DMs. I was just like, man, this is like complete degeneracy craziness on the timeline last night. That was the funniest part for me.
God, my friends are absolute meme coin degens. Absolutely incredible to follow.
Bro, I don't watch Netflix anymore. This is my full. This is what I do.
Holy tits. All right. Wow. Okay. Moving on. We do have a taxman on stage who is a part of the Ghosty.Cash team. He, she, they. I'm assuming taxman's a he though, because it says man, CSO and CCO at Ghosty.Cash. How are you feeling today, taxman?
Is this thing on?
Yes,
Can you guys
sir.
hear me?
Yes, sir.
How you guys doing? I'm feeling good. I'm excited to be here, and thank you for allowing me to come on.
Yeah, really, really appreciate it. I don't know if you heard earlier. I'm actually a pretty big user of Ghosty.Cash. I've used it multiple times. I've used the kind of Monero portal, and I've swapped a bunch of different tokens, even ones that, you know, seemingly seem impossible to do, right? Before I'd done like BRC20 to Dogecoin and some of these other ones. So you have a really incredible product, my friend.
Thank you.
Let's start it off right from the top. Because I actually have not heard any shows that you've ever done. Can you give us a little bit of background of, you know, who you are? You know, you don't have to dox yourself or anything, but at least your experience in the space and what led you to joining the Ghosty.Cash team or being a part of the co-founding team?
Yeah, sure. Before I go on that, let me just bring my partner and the founder of Ghosty.Cash out of the shadows, Adrian. He's with the Ghosty.Cash profile at the moment. If you want to unmute yourself, Adrian, and maybe I think he should introduce himself first because he's the brains behind this whole operation. I'm just the marketing guy. You know?
All right. What's up, Adrian?
Hi. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Really, really pleasure. Again, dude, love the product. You know, especially multi-chain, right? Emblem's a multi-chain product. You guys are multi-chain swaps. I've been using products like Shapeshift, you know, back since 2017 when it came out. You guys are, you know, a little bit more of a modernized one with a private kind of focus as well as a Bitcoin ecosystem. So I'd love to hear a little bit about, you know, your previous experience and what led you to developing Ghosty.Cash.
Yeah, I'm pretty long here in the BTC ecosystem space. Started back in 2013, also with mining or BTC coins. But I was a bit mad on BTC because I lost my private keys. That's how you burn BTC, you know. And energy. And yeah, but then I began again 2017 with the story again. Was in trading a bit, learning a lot of because of the ICO hype back in 2017, how EVM works or how smart contracts are working and stuff like that. And finally begun with the very first product. It was a smart contract built product on BCH. We made NFT staking already in this time, where you was able, for example, to stake your NFTs directly with ERC20s. So and then we started also to fork dexes or name systems and all the basic stuff, you know, to just know how this thing works behind the scenes, you know. And after all of this, we started to plan Ghosty, and this was around 2022, 2023 beginning. Designing it, how the system should work, and so on, because you need to know that before you do something like this, you need to plan a lot of stuff to have a clear plan how to develop something like Ghosty, for example. And now we're here, and I'm very happy, to be honest.
Yeah, me too, man. You guys, again, really, I'd speak with high praise because I'm actually quite a big fan of it. So as you went to build Ghosty.Cash, what intrigued you about Bitcoin and BRC20 that led you guys to beginning with the BRC20 token?
Pretty easy, because I knew a known member in the BSC ecosystem and started to make some NFTs for him. This was the CryptoBuds, I think he called it. Yeah. Then he uploaded, yeah. Then he uploaded it, and and I made the NFTs for him. And so I also decided then, because I liked the idea how BSC20 worked itself. So also decided then, okay, why not doing a multi-chain, cross-chain swap bridge, you name it, for ordinals, because there was nothing like this existing in such a way, so yeah, it was also then for us a decision we took, because also we wanted to be the first ones, because if you put the stamp on it, if you like you want to be the first one, then you need to take it. You just decide then, okay, launch Ghosty there, because if you launch on Ethereum, you have so much trouble to launch anything there, because the competition is also so high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say so. For those that aren't aware, some of the popular swap tools that are predecessors, you could say, to Ghosty.Cash are Change Now, Shapeshift. There's a handful of those out there, right? It's kind of the idea of an atomic swap. Here, you've taken it, multi-chain, and a few of those products have before. But focusing and narrowing in a little bit specific on the Bitcoin ecosystem, how tough was it to enable BRC20 for swaps? And also, now that you've added runes and some of the other fungible token systems on UTXO chains.
Yeah, it was tough, because it's not like on ERC20 you're receiving the token and swapping it. You need to inscribe it, right? So you needed to look, okay, how do I build around the problem, so to say, that I need to inscribe the ordinal first, and then send it, so to say, to the next station to be able to exchange it with another currency, So this was the hurdle we needed to take, and yeah, somehow we got the how did it work?
Let me just add a little bit onto that point. It was a bit annoying at first, because Bitcoin is pretty slow compared to Ethereum and Solana. So yeah, we faced a couple of hurdles with runes, with stamps, with everything else. But in the end, we got there. We did it. It worked, and we realized that there's a lot more that we can do with Ghosty. So then we came up with some more ideas. We spoke to some people. We got incubated, and here we are in the current day. All I'll say is, for the future, just a little hint for everybody, that you guys are not ready for what's coming with Ghosty. You guys are not ready.
Well, can you guys, because I haven't used it. I looked at it a little yesterday, and Jake's got it up on the screen now. But so I understand, and I get it, like when you're saying, okay, we can do like Change Now or Shapeshift, right? I can exchange, Bitcoin for Solana, right? That makes sense to me. You send Bitcoin, the current exchange rate, you spit out Solana on the other side. But how does it work for like runes? Like that, I'm like, well, how do you make that connection between those two, right?
That's called,
yeah, tell me how that works.
We call that a trade secret, unfortunately. For now, I think it's a trade secret, because there's a lot of, I'll just tell you this, we had sleepless nights over this stuff, because we were like, it won't work. And, Adrian's telling me it will work. And I'm like, no, it won't work. And we're going to destroy the whole thing. And then we just go back and forth, and it works. And we're like, we did it. And then we're like, what do we do? Do we just publicize this? And then we're like, no, hold on, let's build our foundations. And then once we're done, we'll tell the world how we did it. So I think for that answer, you guys have to wait a few months, I'm afraid, to find out how it actually works. But all you need to know is that it works.
Yeah,
so you're gonna be able to tell me that I'm gonna be able to trade some worthless runes for some Solana on the other side. Are you saying that that's going to be possible? I'm excited about this.
Adam needs to swap his runes into DGT immediately.
I'll tell you this: we had a case where we had stamps, right? And we had somebody that wanted to swap stamps from stamp to, I think, not sure what the other pair was, but they were swapping from stamps to something else, a stablecoin, I believe. And using Ghosty, they actually dried up the liquidity pool in one day.
Sure.
I think they sold around $400,000 worth.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah. Completely anonymous. Got it done. We facilitated it, and it was done nowhere. Obviously, the liquidity needs to come from somewhere. So as long as there's liquidity, you can swap. But if there isn't, then we'll find a way to bring liquidity always.
So
Yes,
then, sorry, Jake, but in that case with the stamps, where did that liquidity come from?
Now that's a trade secret. If I tell you that, I'll just give you this much: a mix of sexes and dexes.
Mhm.
So whichever has liquidity, we have a way of pulling it out from there. It's not like we're dependent on one certain exchange or one certain dex. It's just at the moment, because our partners and our liquidity providers, they're very versatile. And if they're hearing this, I want to thank them, because without them, it wouldn't be possible. So it's our code mixed with their liquidity pools, and then you get Ghosty.Cash.
Yeah, so it's some deep partnership integrations, probably some sort of
Mhm.
API pinging, and some SDK development. Sounds like
A lot of favors in the past that
Yeah.
are being fulfilled now.
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, there's a bit more. Yeah, there's a bit more. If we would tell some names, then you would know them. Some of them are directly partners, so with 1inch or whatever, bigger players, I would say.
Got it. Yeah. So 1inch is an aggregator. So yeah, you're pulling in a handful of a variety and baskets of different pieces of infrastructure to pull this all together. Emblem, we were kind of the first ones through the door to try to take BRC20 to Ethereum, and man, it was tough. Ultimately, we had to scrap the project because we did BRC20 as ERC 721s on OpenSea and had a limited amount of traction. This was maybe 2 months, 3 months into when BRC20 was created. So we took it, threw it against the wall, failed. Obviously, you guys came in and did a much better job at it, to say the least, which is cool. I have here on the live stream pulled up the different mainnets and different tokens that you guys have. There's, you have Bitcoin, Monero, Dogecoin, Ordinals, and Stamp that are all UTXO based. You have Solana that's an SVM. And then you have a handful of EVM L2s and EVM L2s and some layer ones. So you have Litecoin in here as well, right? So you got just Litecoin base net. One component which, when you come onto Ghosty.Cash, which is kind of pretty emblematic of the name, you see something called Ghosty mode, right? And it says on or off. And if you go to the FAQ, it says that Ghosty was built with ZK snarks, and it's basically a zero knowledge. What is it? Succinct, non-interactive arguments of knowledge. That is quite a long word. Can you explain to us what the ZK snarks are and why this Ghosty mode is a game changer for this product?
Because the branding already tells what it does. What we can say about the Ghosty mode is you are not able to follow the route someone trades. This is not possible. ZK snarks is also very computing. It doesn't need to a lot of load sorry, my English sometimes sucks.
No worries, dude. You're doing a great job.
It's very efficient. ZK snarks is also a very efficient way of proving. So it's basically one of the things we took into account for choosing this algorithm, so to say. But the main thing is, once you take or enabling the Ghosty mode, it's not possible to see from the outside which route the user took for the trade. But it's compliant. So we are not Tornado Cash. We have also our security systems, which they're getting enabled for every route, for every trade someone takes. So if let's say a scammer would use Ghosty.Cash, the trade is automatically being halted, and until it's not clear what happens or where the funds really came from, because we have a very good security system here. We connected also to big databases which are collecting hacker wallets or scammer wallets, and so we can say, okay, is this really a scam, or it's just a false positive, you know?
So what you're saying basically is, to the outside, if I change Bitcoin for Monero, to an outside observer, they can't tell, but it's within your system, so that if authorities wanted access to that information, you know, with a court order, they could get it from you. Is that basically what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah. Let me just build on that point. Yes and no. Number one would be authorities would have they wouldn't have the authority to come and just say, hey, give us this, we want this. They'll have to be, you know how the judicial system works, right? You need a court order, you need proof, you need to give us a reason why we should give you this. You can't just come and say, hey, I want this, you give it to us. So that's one point. Number two is, yes, we do have security systems in place. We've actually got 4 security systems, not 1. So all of them cross-reference each other and they check. So if there's anything that comes up, there's a database, I'm pretty sure you guys know, where if anybody has, you know, suspicious hacker wallets and hacker addresses and stuff, people that scam, dump, these wallets go into a public ledger or a public database. If these wallets are there and you trade on Ghosty, your funds get immediately locked up and you get questioned. You either get KYC'd or you don't get your funds back, and we hand over your information to the authorities. But again, it's not like, imagine you trade and we suspect you that you've done something. It's not like immediately we, you know, take your stuff and we pass it on. We actually give you a chance. So we speak to you. You'll see in other places like Change Now, they actually KYC you straight away. They don't give you a chance to speak. There's no review system. You straight up KYC, or, you know, your funds are going to be locked up for a week, 2 weeks, whatever it may be. With us, it's a bit different. If you can prove that there's a mistake here, we can actually swap your funds. If there's no proof there's a mistake, then obviously we do have to pass your information up to the authorities, whoever's asking, and then we do return your funds to you. We don't keep the funds. But yeah, that's the way our system works anyways.
Yeah, roger that. So I have here pulled up on the live stream. So you guys have conducted roughly 9,000 transactions and roughly $25 million in swaps. Now you guys have been live for maybe 8 months, 9 months, or something of that nature.
7 months.
7 months? Wow. Okay. So as we take a tour kind of the platform here, there's 2 tabs up here. Well, there's 3. One of them is earn, and it says earn crypto and extend your reach, develop outstanding cryptocurrency services to enhance your value proposition and achieve sustained profitability. Can we dive a little bit into what the partner program is?
So in essence, it's literally Ghosty. The only difference is we can actually see in our background. So when you sign up, and let me just make this clear. So a lot of people think when they see that sign up button that you have to sign up to swap. You don't. You can just go and swap and do your thing and get out anonymously. The sign up button is only for partners. So you sign up, you drop your email, you get a verification code, etc., and then you get a link or you get an API. Now on our database, we can see your link and your API. Every time you pass that link to somebody, let's say you give it to your friend, he uses that link to swap, you get half of the fees from that swap. So let's say he swaps 100,000.
We lose tax man for a second.
Yeah, I can take over.
Hello. Sorry. I'm back. I'm sorry.
You're back.
Okay.
Yeah. So sorry, Mark. I got a call.
No worries.
So anytime somebody swaps using your link, you get half the fee. So if somebody swaps $100,000 and the fee is 0.4%, that's going to be $4,000 roughly, and from that you get $2,000. I think I did the math right. I hope. I don't think I did. $400. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, you got $400. Sorry, you got $400, and from that 400, 200 goes to you, 200 goes to us, and that's it. It's basically exposure, you know, because Ghosty.Cash works best with marketing. The more eyes that come onto us, I think we built an excellent product that does work itself. We don't need to convince you to use it. If you use it once, you're addicted. You know it works. You don't use an exchange ever again. So yeah, it's just a way of allowing you to expose our product and for us to give you something back for doing that.
Awesome, man. We may have to talk to you when we launch Emblem Markets, so we can have a multi-chain swap. I'm not even joking, to be honest. I'm really not joking here.
We can help you with that. We can help you with that, definitely.
Yeah, that is cool. Cool. So I have the API list here. I'm glad we got to dive through that. And then there's this one very curious thing that says riddle, and it's riddle me ghosty. Is this something fun? Is there a purpose to this? What is this?
One word, and we'll leave it at that. Experimental. We're just experimenting some things, right? When we first started, we were just trying a few things to give the community back some tokens. And I think Riddle was one of them. But now we've abandoned it. We focused more on DeFi. All the fun and games are a bit in the backseat for now. And we're just focused on building a DeFi ecosystem where you can swap, you can get fiat, you can off-ramp, on-ramp, you can be on-chain, you can be off-chain, whatever you prefer. That's the goal with us for now.
Wow. Okay. So one question here, right? Up at the top, there's the burn event, and maybe we'll spend maybe 15 minutes or so onto this. This is the migration of BRC20 to TAP. I believe there's been a handful of teams who have done this. First, tell us, what was the utility, or at least the initial planned utility for the BRC20 Ghosty.Cash and its initial vision?
Cool. I'll let Adrian answer this in depth, but I'll just give you a small perspective from me. You've been in BRC for a long time. I've been here. Adrian's been here. The whole community's been here. Like you said, with Emblem, well, it's literally impossible to do anything on BRC apart from just looking at your tokens, because there's no smart contracts. There's no nothing. You're just looking at our art piece that does basically nothing. So when we first launched Ghosty, we thought there's a lot that we can do as time goes on with ordinals and Ordi and Domo and whatever it may be. But as time went on, we realized, hold on, there's literally nothing you can do here, because Bitcoin was not built to be, it wasn't built as Ethereum. It was built as a store of value and nothing else. So as time went on, we realized that there's not much we can do here. We need to find another way to allow our devs and our token to be valuable. And then we moved to TAP. And Adrian, if you want to add something on top of that.
Yeah, basically you said everything. Like you said, you can transfer tokens.
That's about it.
So then,
yeah, I don't want to joke on BRC20, but it's also a very good idea in my eyes to enable such stuff also on BTC, because it's a mother chain, and now it's possible to generate tokens on the chain itself. So the idea behind it is not bad, but it's very limited, So as a project, you cannot really survive on BRC20 because it's not possible.
Yeah, right. It's we've talked at length on the show over the last year and a half since BRC20 launched. The fun speculation to it, the kind of friction and pain points, and kind of where it's going now. This then leads to the migration component, where the large majority of 4-byte BRC20 takers chose to migrate to runes. And these are mostly meme coins per se. Whereas it seemed like a handful of the kind of utility or project focused BRC20s, Ghosty.Cash, Traverse, I think there's a few others, decided to go to TAP. Can you take us through the thought process of the decision between migrating to TAP over runes? And then what were those conversations like with Benny and the track team once the migration had begun, or the decision was made?
So basically, why we took TAP is because you have, for example, token authorities enabling stuff like smart contracts. It's not the same, but they're enabling nearly the same thing. What runes with runes it's not possible. And we've been talking to Benny. I also know him personally, in real person, and we are partners. We cannot just go, hey, there's something new, there's hype for like 5 days, no, bye. You cannot do this. We know Benny a very good. He's a very good person, and also has also a very good product. He's also helping us with stuff on tap, and and so we're backed by them. Also somehow, because we're partners. We're developing also a something new with ICP directly. So there's much more behind the scenes, and everyone thinks that it's just it's not because of hype. It's much more, I would say.
I did see the announcement with ICP collaborating with Track for some sort of interoperability bridge with Ethereum, where I believe it said that you could bring Ethereum assets to Ghosty Swap, or not to Ghosty Swap, to Bitcoin and vice versa. Does this mean something the equivalent of NFTs, or what are your thoughts when attacking this interoperability project between the two companies and Ghosty.Cash itself?
First of all, you can think. So I give you a hint. You will know the domain where it's going to be launched. And the second thing is we are doing with Tap. We're working because it's a project by 4 companies. So we will also announce it. So I cannot dive deep directly into it because I don't know how good Benny would think about it. But yeah, let's say this, because ICP, as you know, is it works really like a computer. It's so to say a canister, which is completely decentralized. Exactly, like a virtual machine, but decentralized, so to say. So that's why we took here the step and said, okay, let's have a look on this. How does it work, and so on, and build something.
Okay.
But because of I think I'm not allowed to speak too much about this.
Yeah, no problem.
For now.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. Completely understand. Going back one previous conversation, could you give us an explanation of what the token authorities or privilege authorities are? I've heard this term being thrown around a handful of times. I believe the DMT squad, the block runner guys, were the first ones to use this with their block pad. But could you give us, from your perspective, what it enables?
Yeah, it enables some stuff. For example, it enables for one thing, very important thing is, for example, you can send with one transactions, BTC transaction, also, for example, tap tokens, directly in one transaction. So you can give your token direct use case without a need to inscribe it,
Interesting. Yeah, I guess that's a key friction point to try to work over at the time. One thing I've noticed with kind of the tap ecosystem is that it's generally teams, right, that have a token. Hold on, you text, man. It's mostly teams that have kind of this DeFi / NFTFi. I guess you could call it OrdFi is what they're calling it, kind of perspective. What are your thoughts on just overall OrdFi, Bitcoin DeFi, whatever you want to call it? Do you think this is a market that could eventually kind of supersede Ethereum? What are the obstacles, and what are your projections on DeFi on Bitcoin?
I think it's we are very at the very beginning, with this. I see it as a chance for something new. This is my perspective, my personal perspective of it. There's just this is, to be honest, everything I need to say about it now, because We don't know how it will. How will it be successful or not? We cannot say it, because BTC, as Taxman said, is a store of value somehow, and but people also not aware, I think, for now, that it's even possible on Bitcoin. So maybe not this cycle directly, but the next cycle, I would say definitely it has more chances for the big DeFi thing, on BTC also, like we see for now on Ethereum or Solana. So yeah, this is the main point I see here. Tap does here, for example, a very big step, because it enables, for example, also these liquidity pools, which was not able before. So based on that, they're building this for the BTC, for the future of the BTC. So I think this is gonna be very huge. Maybe not more tomorrow, not in 3 days, but I'm very positive on that.
So do you see, and then I'm gonna go to Cody right after this. So do you see a future then where the majority of these ecosystems are all intermingled and multi-chain? So like, for example, here, and if I'm spilling the beans, I'm sorry, because I have no idea. This is just my speculation, right? So between like this collaboration between ICP, Ghosty.Cash, Tap, right? You could create something like a multi-chain kind of liquidity pool where you put like the dog token paired against Ethereum, and you swap it, and you have native kind of multi-chain swaps. Are these like, is this kind of like the vision that Ghosty.Cash sees, where you're just intermingling all of these different ecosystems together?
Yeah, definitely. We what we see is, what we also aiming to be is a one-stop solution for all chains. So you can also imagine, we are building our very own thing also, L2. And yeah, so we want to bring everything on Ghost, and then for us, there's not like multiple chains. There's the hurdle between all chains is to bring them together, all communities, everything. This is our vision.
Yep. The idea of account abstraction combined with chain abstraction, right? Most people, I guess this has been the vision since I joined the space in 2016, is that eventually, users don't know where the tokens are from, or it doesn't even matter, because the UI and the user experience is so improved and everything's abstracted away that it's just one simple interface. It's something that at Emblem we're also trying to pursue as well, right? Except more focused on NFTs. You guys are a little bit more focused on, fungible tokens and swaps, but it's all generally the same vision, and we've all been kind of in the same space together. I do want to call on Cody. What's good, bro? Good to see you. Do you have any questions for Ghosty Swap?
Oh yeah. So the whole time you've been running through my head with, the end state of crypto. And I think it's funny because online everyone just says crypto, 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 right? But it's actually all split up and messed up. And I love what everyone's doing with the whole idea of bringing it all into one umbrella of just crypto and making it easy to do what we're already doing with 85 steps. Now you can do it with just one app or a couple apps. And Ghostly and Emblem Vault, I can totally see you guys are going to hang out together. So since this is a Ghostly show, I fully signed up. I'm in my thing right now. I'm pissing around in there. Question to Ghostly. Walk me through it. Why don't you sign me up? Let's do it. I'm going to put some funds in there right now. What do I got to do? I have it all open right now.
You don't need to sign up. You don't need to give any of your details. You come in. Let's say you've got a bunch of Bitcoin, right? And you think the market's going down. Or you think Bitcoin's going up enough. I want to swap into Ethereum now. There's potential there. Usually, you would have to take your funds out from your wallet, right? If anybody with money doesn't hold their money in an exchange. Let's be real. You either hold it in a cold wallet or you hold it in MetaMask or somewhere like that. So you can't do that when you're on Ethereum or wherever you're holding your Bitcoin. You can't directly go to Ethereum. You have to take 2-3 steps. You have to go to an exchange maybe. You have to buy this, buy that, and then 2-3 steps later, you'll get your Bitcoin. on your ledger or whatever it may be.
Oh yeah, I
Ghosty
did that
Cash.
yesterday trying to get some peppies. Pain in the ass.
Exactly. So Ghosty.Cash gets rid of all of that. One-stop solution. What do we mean by that? You come in here, you have some Bitcoin. You want to get some Pepe. Let's talk about Pepe, right? Bitcoin.
Okay,
Pepe.
just pause for 1 second. I have literally have it open right now. My dashboard's open. So let's say I have some ETH sitting in my MetaMask wallet, or actually let's go Uniswap wallet. How do I get it in here?
I'll tell you. So choose, what do you want to swap? Do you want to swap from Ethereum to Pepe? Sure, completely fine. It's an off-chain thing, so you don't even connect your wallet. There's no risk of you losing your funds or anything. We're working on an on-chain version, which will come out soon. I'll get on that. But right now, you choose what you want. So first, you select your menu, as you would in a restaurant. What would you like to have, sir? You'll have an Ethereum to Pepe. That's your choice. You choose how much you want to swap. One Ethereum to whatever Pepe may be. You choose ghosty mode. Are you trying to, be anonymous? You're trying to hide your transactions from some sneaky eyes, or you just want to swap? You don't care. Nobody's looking at you. You choose ghosty mode on or off based on that. Then you press initiate order. You put your receiver wallet in as well. So whatever wallet you want to receive your Pepe in.
That's what I can't figure out. So I just do my receiver wallet. I don't have to say where it's coming from. It's going to figure it out or what?
Right. Basically, I'll just jump in here, Taxman. What you're doing, Cody, is you're sending the
request to my wallet.
You're sending the money to them. They're exchanging it, and then they're sending you the other currency, whatever you're changing into. They're sending you that. So that's why you put a receiver wallet. So if you want Bitcoin, for example, you're going to put a Bitcoin wallet that you own in that receiver wallet address. Does that make sense? And once you click swap now, it's going to give you an address to send the original currency to. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so that's what I was trying to figure out. So I have this ETH sitting in my MetaMask, or sorry, Uniswap.
Yep. We just need three things from you, Cody. Number one is what you're swapping from, what you're swapping to, and where do you want your funds, your receiver address. That's it, nothing else. That's all we need from you.
I'm going to do it right now.
Yeah, I mean, this sort of service, like I didn't know about it till, I don't know, 2 years ago or something like that. It's just so much. Like I've used Change Now. I've used SafeShift. Like I'll definitely use Ghosty next time I need, whatever. I want some Dogecoin, right? To be able to buy some Doji or whatever. Dude, to do that in an exchange, forget it. It's not worth it when it comes to the amount of times you'd have to transfer back and forth, the swap.
Pain in the ass.
It's not only a pain in the ass. This just ends up being like cheaper. I mean, just time-wise, it's a million times cheaper. So yeah, these sort of services are awesome.
Exactly. Thank you. And I just want to talk about our competition slightly. I don't want to, barge them, but I just want to speak about why the idea of Ghosty changed. So SideShift, if you look at them, they haven't really innovated since they came out. I know they've changed a few things here and there, but still, it's been the same thing. With Ghosty, we have a lot of things planned. So like Adrian said, we've got an L2 coming pretty soon. So it's going to be huge. I don't want to give too many points out right now, but it's just going to be an ecosystem where you can do everything related to DeFi in one space. All the chains, everything, off-chain, on-chain, fiat, all of it in one place, all at once. That's Ghosty.
Wow.
Who we got behind the DogFi account or the DoggyFi account today?
Hey, what's up, dude? It's
Ash.
Sorry. Yeah. Hey guys. Thanks for having me on here. I just had a quick question. So just to be clear, so Ghosty's using XMR's like CSLAG kind of like implementation to allow for this kind of obfuscation if you pick up Ghosty mode, right? Just to be clear.
It's XMR, not Monero. We are not using Monero. We are using ZK Snarks. But yes, you cannot see the trade from the outside. Is that what you wanted to ask, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, because like if you're using Monero or if you're not using Monero, so I know Monero has like a different X to curve, and then obviously like they have like the CSLAG kind of implementation. Because I saw that paper and I saw it mentioned there, I just didn't know if that's the network that you're using to like obfuscate this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was we've used this in the past, but Monero had a lot of
legal issues.
Yeah.
We faced a lot of issues with our partners with Monero, and it got stopped, halted a bit too much. I think it's because Monero had some issues in the middle with I think the Finnish authorities. So we had a choice between staying on Monero or maybe improving the systems and seeing if ZK-SNARK works, zero knowledge. And thankfully it worked. Again, we got lucky, I guess.
Cool. I have another question over there. Is there a separate proof that's generated to ensure that, like, for users that are swapping funds, they don't touch they're not commingled with funds that are on Ghosty mode?
No, it's transaction by transaction. So it's not like you're getting paired up with somebody who's swapping live. It's all different. Everything goes in its own lane. You're not being backed up with somebody that's swapping live there and then. If you swap the exact same amount as somebody else, you will have your own transaction, your own lane you'll drive on. You won't be mixed in with somebody else.
So just to be clear, so my funds, like, let's say I'm deploying like Bitcoin to, one of the other kind of chains, like an EVM kind of chain, and I say I want to be on Ghosty mode, I'm moving X amount of capital into that. That asset will at no point be commingled with any funds that are on the actual Ghosty side of the assets. And a snark can be provided, like a proof can be provided so that if FinCEN does knock on my door, I'll be like, bro, my shit never touched any of that stuff. If needed.
We can assure from our side that it doesn't, but I'm not sure about the proof part. Adrian, can you maybe elaborate on this? I'm not a tech genius.
To be honest, I would need them to go back to, if you need a proof or whatever, I would need them to go to the devs and search in our database. But basically, you cannot, you can't be charged from the outside or whatever. So if someone wants to see you, then it's impossible. Because we had already once a competition in our group. A lot of people tried to get the route, to figure out the route, and because we set a price pool of 1K USDT, but nobody couldn't ever find it because, to be honest, it's technically not possible for them.
DeFi, I gotta ask you, give me the reasoning behind that sort of question. What do you? Because I'm interested. Is this for like a?
I'm confused. I just want to know.
Yeah, so there's like there's precedent that's legally set in the United States that, as some of us are here, right? Like basically that if your funds are mixed or joined with a mixer, and even though it's not considered a mixer, it's not legally defined as a mixer, right? And it wouldn't be there. The act of your funds being commingled with any other kind of funds that is performing even an associated kind of service like that could be, it's in that regulatory capture scope where you can say, hey, you were in this kind of thing, bro. So sorry, I'm going to snatch this asset from you. And that's a big problem, right? Like, so that's the reason why I'm asking, because like, I'm a big Monero stan too, by the way. And a ZK-SNARK fan, like, Snarks and Starks are dope. Even Validiums are dope. Like, an XMR is actually like a super dope, like, chain, and their thesis is really cool. But I'm just curious to see, like, if you are using that, like, what is the solution for that? Because this would be something I'm just wondering, like, hey, if I was moving this, and I think this is a great use case, to be very clear, like a multi-chain kind of like privacy shielded kind of swap functionality is dope as fuck. The only question is like, I'm just wondering, like, is there a proof that can be generated such that to prove to me as a user that, like, hey, if FinCEN comes knocking on my door, I'll be like, bro, like, you see, my shit was not mixed with anything that's there. This is the proof that says so. And you and your devs and your tech team can get together and decipher this. That's the reason why.
I would say directly there wouldn't be, but indirectly, yes. Number one, no one can ever see that you've used Ghosty because of the anonymous thing. And number two, if they do ever come to your door, we have a database with that information. So if they do come quick enough, then we can supply you that information. But if they come after 10 years or 5 years, then I think we don't have the capability to hold that information for that long. But in short, your funds don't get mixed with others. And if you need proof in an instant like this where the authorities are at your door, we can help you, yes.
That's a good question. Good question, Ash.
Very good question. Yeah, because I mean, look, regulations in the US are like, you see it happening, right? I mean, so it's a great question.
The whole world, to be honest. Let's be honest, the whole world. Nobody wants to be like the next door neighbor, what they did was a bit fishy. I know they made money, but end of the day, they're all in jail now. So what was the point?
It's also, to be honest, between around here, that's why it's called Ghosty mode, not anonymous mode, because you can say to the outside, we're anonymizing your funds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's somehow for the most, it's like, oh, they're mixing my funds, you know, but it's not like this.
It's a taboo
We-
word, you know. The whole
Yeah.
anon thing nowadays is taboo. Nobody wants to be associated with anon.
Mhm.
But I think we should allow it if regulations are upheld, if people are compliant. You don't know why people want to be anonymous. There's many different reasons. You know, it might be a celebrity, it might be this and that. Obviously, you can't just assume someone's guilty until proven, and that's our judicial system worldwide.
Oh, there's infinite reasons why you want to have privacy. I mean, look, even just, you know, micro influencers like Jake and I, right? If people know that, oh, Adam just went and bought, you know, $10,000 worth of Doji, you know, people use that information, right? So, you know, there's for simple people, there's reasons to want privacy. I mean, period. Full stop.
Exactly. Yeah, we have also people who are very happy that we have this, because they know, okay, we are compliant, you know, a solution. We don't mix funds because we, by the way, if someone sends over Tornado Cash, it's directly flagged, so please don't use it.
Awesome.
Yeah. But like Taxman said, you know, you have anonymity is this right?
We got you.
Yeah, is a privilege, you know. You or should be or it isn't a privilege. It's just a human right, you know. It's no regulation should come to you and say, hey, you're scamming us, you know, because you move funds from A to B.
Yeah, you know, I like the logo even more now of Ghosty.Cash, right? Because it's like a veil or a silhouette, right? It's not completely anonymous. There's a few kind of ways to go about it, but it's internally, but from the outside, it's, you know, private, which is really cool. I do have one more question, and then I'm going to pass it over to Cody. I wanted to know how you guys are going about the migration from BRC22 tap, and the reason why I ask is, from the Emblem side, we've gone through migrations. We've been going through a migration for the last year, and the team has also gone through multiple migrations with the tokens. So the Emblem itself has gone through 2 token migrations and then 1 complete 50,000 NFT migration to a bunch of different smart contracts. How are you guys approaching the BRC20 to tap migration?
You want to know how we did this?
Yeah. What's the mechanism, right? Is there a burn? Did you guys do an airdrop, right? Were there any kind of technical hurdles to overcome, etc.? You're the first team I've talked with that's gone from BRC20 to tap, so I'm just curious how you went about it, or how you're going about it.
It was a one-to-one airdrop on the tap side, and yeah, that's basically it. The BRC20 stays as a BRC20. It's, to be honest, now maybe it's has a historical value, no, but the real Ghosty token is now on tap. We've airdropped it to 2,700 wallets, which was packed in one transaction, which was possible also over tap, because tap has this airdrop function, so you can pack, so you can airdrop like any amount of wallets and with any amount of tokens in it, and then send it. But it's not cheap.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is the problem. So we've chosen a very early time. I woke up, to be honest, very early one day to do this transaction, because I didn't want to pay 3K, you know.
Yeah, no kidding. It's you got to do it on a weekend, generally around, I think, midnight Eastern time, I believe, is like one of the, like Saturday Eastern time, I think, is like the lowest transaction fees across all the chains, or something around that.
Yeah, exactly. Just if you need help, you just write us. We will assist you. It's not very, it's not complicated or something, but the process is itself. You need to go through it one time to understand how it works, and then okay, then it's fine.
Yeah, I guess this makes sense just to kind of add a little bit of context to the crowd, right? So some of the decision making when you're migrating is generally what do you do with the legacy assets, right? So here with BRC20, since this project's run by Ghosty.Cash, they could basically just say, hey, we'll airdrop you these new tokens, and the old ones are just basically invalid. You still own them, but it doesn't integrate any way into our system. On the other side of that, right, if you're like an NFT project, like you could kind of see CryptoPunks where there's V1, V2, they airdrop the V2 punks, they gain value. Then people kind of came back and, created this whole narrative, right? What's the real CryptoPunks? There's a V1, these ones have bugs. And then you saw this happen with runes or BRC20 to runes, where there's kind of two things that happened. One, some teams decided to airdrop the new runes and then try to burn the old ones. But they then allowed their users to go ahead and try to burn them, and right, they didn't get full kind of commitment to that. So you have kind of these two tokens now, BRC20 and runes, that are both trading, and it causes a lot of confusion. And then on the other side of that, right, if you don't opt to not do the airdrop and you say, hey, if you want, like this, for example, this is Pups' situation, right? You have the BRC20 and they say, hey, you burn the BRC20 and then you'll get the runes on the other side. Ultimately, right, they got, I think, less than 50% participation in that. So now they're kind of in this fragmented market where they have the Pups BRC20 trading and then they have the Pups runes trading at the same time. So, a lot of people from the outside, if you're not an operator, you don't really take any of this into consideration. So this is kind of the context of why I asked.
Trade is disabled on Unisat.
Yeah, it's exactly. You cannot trade because we've asked them, please disable the ghosty trading so nobody also loses money there, because nobody wants to invest into that token, so to say, and in terms of NFTs, you're right. It's hard to do the airdrop on Ordinals or on any other meta protocols, like for example Tab, Runes, or whatever, because they don't have directly the burn or functionality. It's not burning. It's more sending Satoshi another NFT. You know what I mean? That's the hurdle. This is a big hurdle for NFT projects.
Yeah, it's a lot of back end kind of logistics that a lot of people don't take into consideration. The owners are just like, I just want my token. Then there's other owners that are like, really have to pay gas to burn to get these new ones, and all these kind of added parallels that makes it highly complicated. But I'm glad that you guys did it really smooth and thought about it, because the majority of migrations are really tough. I mean, from the Emblem side, we're going through a migration almost on a year now, right? And what we thought was 3 weeks is almost a year in the making because of the complication to all of it. Just to add some details for us, right? We had 50,000 NFTs on one contract that was from 12 different blockchains and over 200 different collections, and we had to migrate them to 69 different smart contracts. And the complication of that became very apparent after kind of unwinding the system and beginning to rebuild it, of how complicated this actually was. So I just have a little bit of love for people who go through migrations, because we've gone through a very tough one.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Maybe Layer 0 would be here a solution, because they're providing, as far as I know, this transferring NFTs between chains.
Yeah. The thing with Layer 0, though, is they don't support UTXO based assets, and the majority of assets that are in vaults are UTXO, right? So you just got to be custom and fully build it out. Basically, we're building our own Layer 0 for now, and we're actually probably going to use Layer 0 or Chainlink or Wormhole for their kind of cross-chain messaging protocol. All things that I've kind of learned over time. But yeah, it's it's really, really interesting and fascinating, but also painful when you're an operator.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Cody, did you have a question? I saw you had your hand up earlier.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been playing in there. So I picked the easiest coin that I think it would be to swap. So I took Ton coin, just a little bit of Ton coin, and went to swap it to Bitcoin, right? And it sent me back. So I sent it my Bitcoin address, and it sent me back the Ton address to send the Ton to.
Yep.
Right. So I picked like 5.99 Ton, and then so when I send it, my wallet gives me a charge, right? So when I send it, then I didn't send 5.99. I sent a little bit less, right?
Oh, yeah.
So
You gotta take off. Usually within the wallets themselves, and I don't know about Taunton, but usually you can send it. There's usually a toggle in the wallet itself to not include the fee in the total. Not sure about Taunton itself.
not in that one. Not in that one. So then I've got it sent there, and I put it in the comments. I got it sent, and it's like stuck at 50% anonymizing, probably
It's
because
fine.
it doesn't have the full amount.
Let me yeah.
Is there
we do
in the future? I was just wondering if there's an option. So I say I want to do 5.99 swap, and then I only send 5.6. Could you not set it up that the wallet says, "Oh, you only said 5.6"? We'll just change that. It's 5.6 that you want to do, and send it through.
Let me just add on that. It's not a problem. If you open an order for, let's say, 1 Bitcoin, and you send 1.1 or you send 0.9, it'll swap. It'll just give you the equivalent of that amount. So it's nothing that, it won't cancel your trade, or it won't halt the trade, or it won't, just kick you out because you send the wrong amount. You can send whatever, as long as it's not too much of a variance. The swap still proceeds. It'll just give you the same amount that you would get in value. Okay. So as long as you're fine with the little small tweaks of 0.01, then it's fine. It'll still proceed. So you will get
still just sitting there. How long does it usually take?
So
remember, if you're swapping to Bitcoin, bro, it's Bitcoin, man. It may take an hour, dude. It may take 2 hours. You never know, man.
Yeah, like in the Ton wallet, you can actually swap to Bitcoin in the Ton wallet, but I think it's like it's not. You don't actually have Bitcoin. I think the wallets are just holding it.
It's like wrapped, basically. I think kind of.
This is going to be right into Bitcoin, right?
Let me just make this clear for you. Anything related to Bitcoin takes a lot of time. Not us specific chain, right?
Everything.
So I think
there's the guy with the digital pick and shovel working away.
You've picked the worst asset to swap into in this life. So if you pick Ethereum, usually it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to swap into other chains, Ethereum, Solana. Maybe max 30 minutes if it's anonymizing and it's a bit congested. But Bitcoin, it can take a bit of time, depending on what the network's like.
You move from the fastest blockchain to the slowest, bro.
Yeah,
exactly.
The problem is also on Bitcoin. The problem is you need minimum 3 confirmations, which can take on Bitcoin, because of security. That's if you do under 3 confirmations, someone could maybe trick us. That's
manipulate. So on Bitcoin, you need 3 confirmations for the swap to be finally executed. And 1 confirmation takes like 10 minutes. So 3 is like
no, I get it. Okay, that makes sense. And one thing I will say is at the bottom there, it is very transparent. Like what Jake was wondering, like it's all anonymous or whatever. But down below there, you can see where it's definitely tracked in your system, and I can look at it and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool.
Yep, exactly. So it's there for I think 30 days, if I'm not wrong, and then it gets wiped, or 14 days, I believe. I need to check that one out.
Yeah, no worries. Good question. That was a kind of cool live tutorial. You have any questions?
Yeah, well, I mean, no real questions. Just if anybody hasn't used this sort of service, and you want to, for example, lots of people talking about Ton right now, and the Telegram, basically Telegram's blockchain, right? I'd encourage you to try out this sort of service and just realize that ever using an exchange again would be insane. For anything related to, just you want to try something out, whether it's, Doge or Ton or any of these chains, like this is the way you swap. So yeah, it's awesome to have you guys on and talk about it.
Yeah, I personally use Ghosty.Cash a lot for my Dogecoin swaps. It just makes it a lot easier, right? Having to send, BTC to an exchange, then swap it for Doge, and then the withdrawal process here. It's you just initiate the transaction and you just sit on your ass and wait.
Yeah,
so much easier.
Yeah, and also then wait for the next feature. The on-chain swaps will go much faster.
Awesome. Well,
That comes out in about a week.
Ooh, here we go. Well, I appreciate you guys for coming on, and we'll be conscientious of time so that you guys could get back to building all of these cool things. Again, huge fan of the platform. I look forward to this L2 and some of the on-chain swaps, and honestly, what the utility of Ghosty is, and also utilizing it on Tap, as Tap is kind of now coming out of its, I guess, 6 to 9 month kind of rebuilding period, and is coming online and seeing a handful of projects come and do it. You guys are kind of one of those leaders into the Tap ecosystem. So no pressure, guys.
Okay.
Thank you, guys. And also, Jake, if you guys want to work alongside Emblem Vault and Ghosty, that'd be an honor. Something that we're definitely open to.
Yeah, I'd love to chat more. We're launching our cross-chain marketplace, Emblem Markets, here in the next few weeks. We have our developer coming to meet me in person to kind of go through the final process next week. And then once we launch, we've been actually talking about building an in-platform or an in-marketplace swap tool for these different tokens, because our goal is to build a chain agnostic NFT marketplace. It's a little bit different from what you see on Magic Eden. This isn't a swipe at them. This is just commenting what it is, right? Magic Eden's kind of building these individual native experiences. We just want one collection for all the different chains, right? So one rare Pepe collection that is home to vaults for rare Pepe on Solana, Ethereum, right? L2s, Bitcoin, whatever. And having eventually, this swap tool on the back end, one of our goals was to list the asset in any token and then have the buyer purchase it in any token. And we've been in discussion about using some sort of multi-chain swap for this exact situation. And, you guys may be a perfect fit for that. So we'll definitely have to talk about this, and I'll reach out in the next few weeks.
Definitely. Perfect. Great.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, appreciate it. Do you guys have any final words, any comments, any type of alpha or anything for the crowd before we do wrap it up?
No alpha. I'd say just wait 1 week for on-chain. I'll say one more thing. Just give Ghosty a try once. You'll never go back to an exchange ever again. That's it.
Yeah, not joking. I haven't used a centralized exchange in ages. It's been so long.
Exactly. Addictive.
Yeah. Everyone who's here, please, follow Ghosty.Cash. Also follow Emblem Vault, 2 products, that are really building out this abstracted multi-chain world. You will, if you believe in just the on-chain economy, these are 2 highly, successful projects who are kind of leading the charge here. And for those that are new to the spaces, Adam, myself, and Chris, who are on stage, we work at Emblem Vault, the leading cross-chain NFT protocol in the industry, with over 100 million in TVV. That's total value vaulted. We host the show Tuesday through Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, covering projects like Ghosty.Cash, having Bitcoin meme conversations with Leonidas like we did yesterday. Tomorrow is our weekly inscription show, where we cover all the inscription markets, doginals, stamps, counterparty, ordinals, Litecoin ordinals, hashinals, inscriptions, everything that is on the UTXO chains and I guess Ethereum as well. We cover that with the market conversation. Next week as well, we're going to have a few awesome spaces. So make sure that you follow everyone on stage, follow Ghosty.Cash, follow Taxman, and we're going to wrap it up here. Have a good Wednesday, everybody. Be safe, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ghosty.Cash, for coming on. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Goodbye, guys.
Yeah. Goodbye. Bye-bye.